halfway through I was taken back to London. So I'm assuming something's happened there. And I couldn't get back to my car, and it was raining, and that means somebody's died or dying. I was on a bridge in between two roads, one called Althorpe and one called Wellington. There was a hole in my chest. Something was wrong there. As for here, I have no idea where we're going. If that does not connect to a hole, and of course very shortly we will be
After
discovering
we're all
that.
done, Christopher. Are you taping now? Good.
Yeah, I am.
After it's all done, I'm going to ask you some questions, and I'm going to tell you what I would have imagined you would have dreamed about the particular place that we're going, and so that the question becomes, why do some things show up and not others?
Sure.
And to me, it's a total mystery. But I will admit, we drove into a basin.
Yeah.
We went through Gates Pass.
Yeah. And my big fundamentals...
And there are mountains and there are clouds, obviously.
Yeah, there are mountains and clouds.
And this is filled with Indian spirits.
And this is filled with Indian spirits, yeah.
Right, that's true. That's what they say.
Yeah, and that's what the dream said.
I know, I'm saying that's what your dream said.
Yeah.
Thus far, this is what your dream has said.
Well, we'll try and get a picture of some Indian spirits.
I am.
But we may have to come back here at dusk.
That's fine.
One day to do that.
Don't worry, we will. Remember, you're here for quite a while.
Oh, sure.
And you are going to know which places are going to be the highest ones for spirit. So if we can show them.
Well, I might dream it later on, you see. One of them might come to me and say, tomorrow I want you to come back to here. And if they do that, we've got to obey them.
Right. I just don't want, I don't want you to be dreaming about so many things that you end up not finding the sights that you're supposed to.
Well, the sights will be first in the dreams.
Good.
The first thing I drew last night was a basin. It's the very first thing. And that's pretty uniform as to how this works. I didn't think we were going to go in the basin as such, but I realized the basin is also a basin.
Right, and it could be that what you were dreaming was not necessarily the final destination, but the bigger context in which the destination.
Well, maybe later in
But
the dream we get more of that.
Right, you see, that's why I don't. That's what I don't. The process to me is such a mystery, but the whole thing is a mystery.
Well, I didn't get to be where I was without having more than by chance things
No question
about it.
There's no question about it.
Absolutely. It ain't going to rain here today, I don't think, is it? Or does it rain here?
It rains.
Oh, it does. I should go to university if I live long enough and become clever.
You are clever. You don't get cleverness in the university.
Don't you?
No. Actually, typically cleverness is knocked out of you at a university.
Hmm.
What's that mean?
Oh, look.
Trying to see whether you can get the snake to move.
See if I can get him to strike.
That is a real rattlesnake.
As close as I hope I ever get. And I always hope the glass is in between. Just to prove it, I'm here, folks.
So now you get to see your rattlesnakes.
Now
It's pretty
this,
good so far.
I will stand for it. I wonder how many holes we actually get to. We'll have to count how many series of holes there were in dream segments, because the basin will be
kept
one.
seeing
Holes,
in
yeah.
the ground. Now, by the way, when I thought of the Desert Museum, I did not think of the hole in the ground.
No. And just to prove I'm here,
There's a cave. There's a hole in the ground.
yeah, there's a hole in the ground. There's
There's a
loads.
cave.
Yeah,
Is that a hole in the ground?
I guess.
Well, that's what the definition of a cave is.
Now what you will be able to do, of course, is when all 10 are done, is see how dissimilar the dreams are.
Well, that's what we're going to be doing.
Yeah. Oh wow.
I don't know, maybe not. They don't seem to be moving. It doesn't smell bad enough for it to be real bad. What do you got there? Crawfish?
Oh, they're supposed to be bats.
But for the benefit of scientific research, you've got to keep fundamentals, not push it to the limits. And the hole in the ground is fundamental, and that's fundamental here.
That's for sure.
Got a direct hit on the first one. That means they'll all be direct hits. And you're going to blow your little brains out, folks, when you read this.
Now,
watch.
it's different.
Watch. Watch, I'm not moving it. You see? I didn't move it.
Oh, let me see
I
this.
suppose if we want to really be rude and your camera's turned off, I can tell you another association.
Whoa.
I suppose we're in the bowels of the earth. Well, that's where a lot of this stuff originated from.
Well, a lot of this stuff comes from holes.
Yeah. Well, it's all been dug up, hasn't it?
Yep, it's all done.
A hologram. Wow, now they're a fascinating thing. Do you know anything about them?
I mean, how they work?
How they work?
Only vaguely.
Right. Nobody really knows how they work. Come on. This is a bottle of champagne, isn't it?
Yes, but let me tell you what, okay, let me tell you what I'm confused about.
All right. Why didn't I have the word cave?
Why did you have the word cave? Why did you have the word museum? Why didn't you have the word? And you will see what...
Because they're not fundamentals.
Well, let me tell you well, let's keep going, and then you'll see what I would have expected, what you didn't get, and I want to know why.
Well, you have to remember that you only get a tiny part of, because there was so much information coming in, a tiny piece of it got to the paper. And you have to also accept that.
Well, I do. You've got a hole in the ground, and we were in a hole in the ground. There's no question about it. Okay? So that's not the issue.
No, I mean, I'd like to know the other things. Boy, I would like to know. But I would like to know how I could get a hole in the ground. And where the bomb's going to be. And where who's going to be murdered. And all the other things.
All right, all in good time. What? That is a basin.
A basin, isn't it?
That's a basin. I mean, that's where the lake used to be.
That's the basin. That's the plug hole.
Yeah, that's the extension of that hole. That's what that is. That's the big hole.
Yep.
Now.
We don't get there today.
No.
No.
Now this is weird. Because look at this. That's another hole.
That's another hole. That's why I said to you, we've got to count how many times I wrote the word hole.
Walk into that hole. I want to
Okay.
get a picture of you walking into that hole. Now, there's something very significant about what's in that hole. Now you're taking a picture of me as I'm taking a picture of you walking into the hole.
That's it.
Now go look in the hole and tell me what you see. Go way in there.
I see another hole
Another hole in the ground.
with another basin.
Yes, but what's the purpose of that hole in the ground? What's in that hole?
Water?
But what else?
I don't know.
Okay.
I can't see nothing else yet. I can see water.
Let me see if it says up here. What is all the holes?
Here, pussy, pussy, pussy.
Holes in the ground, and that's holes in the ground everywhere. Correct.
Here, pussy, 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 pussy.
Okay. Now look at this, Chris. If I didn't believe this, I wouldn't believe it. What is this?
Another hole.
Is this another hole in the ground?
Yeah, but I told you, fundamentals.
Fundamentals. Holes in the ground. Everywhere we're looking at this place,
It's got holes in the
it's got
ground.
holes in the ground.
Where's pussy, pussy? Oh, these are bears, are they? Here?
Yes.
There's a bear. Yeah, these are bears, look.
Are these bears?
Yeah, there's bears up there.
Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, that's nice.
But there's a hole in the ground.
Sleeping in the hole in the ground.
Yep. And that's fundamental.
Okay.
And if you read my book again, which was written some years ago, it's all about fundamentals.
Is it really?
But even for experiment number 1, you've got to give me holes in the ground. Even if I haven't got the word museum or cave or pussy or... because that's what we call it.
Place
Meow.
in the museum.
Yeah.
You go into the cave. You go into the hole in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. The main entrance is
You have
through a
to go
hole in the
through
ground.
it,
You have
yeah.
to go through a hole in the ground.
I mean, you'll need to... I will need this again tomorrow and the next day and the next day with the same fundamentals.
Exactly.
And then you will begin to understand what I've been trying to tell the world for 12 years with very little success other than law enforcement officers. Because people don't believe you. They believe me because they have an absolute record of everything I send them, every phone call, every briefing, and you can understand that. They record everything.
Right. Is why?
Because you have to be taught from the beginning, and they are starting with fundamentals. Maybe it will get better as it goes along.
The cutest things in the world is prairie dogs.
Trying to get his little face. He's not cooperating.
Is he hiding up there somewhere?
Under that piece of dead grass.
Ah.
Right beyond that bush. And he keeps
And by the way, the
moving.
prairie dogs live in holes in the ground, Chris.
Yeah. You realise why I would never have seen a dog in a dream if it wasn't a terrorist. And if I dream of a dog, it means a terrorist.
So that's a hole in the ground there.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is, the little
Yeah.
guy.
Where?
He's moving
Yeah,
the
he's
stuff from
moving,
the prairie
yes.
dog. There he is, he's moving the stuff, and we're looking at holes in the ground. Prairie dog's one of my favorite places at this
Ah,
museum.
there,
And
I
by the way,
see
I
there.
asked the woman what are some of the favorite places in the
Uh-huh.
museum, and she said of the top 3, prairie dogs and hummingbirds.
Oh, you've got
And mountain
hummingbirds?
lions. But prairie dogs and the mountain lions, there he comes.
Oh, look.
Oh, hello! Oops, I'm not recording it.
I am.
Oh, I missed him.
Guys,
Hello.
up
Don't go
there.
away, don't go away.
You're right behind the sign for me.
Oh, there you are.
There he
Oh,
is.
there you
Got
are.
him.
What a cutie.
I couldn't.
I love the prairie dogs. Are you going to go back in your hole in the ground?
Yeah.
That way.
Spot. These are prairie dogs, and they live in holes in the ground, and they are one of the #1 attractions at the Desert Museum. Our prairie dogs. Oops, where are we here? There, he just went into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
There goes another one.
Shall I video another hole in the ground? Are you going to go in your hole in the ground? Are you going to go to your hole in the ground? Down you go. They're gone in their holes in the ground.
Oh. There are two guys that are eating over here.
There's one there, Gary. Look at the top. That's it.
Oh yeah, there he is. There are two down here.
Yeah, this one's come back too. Hello, darling.
Aren't they cute?
Aren't they lovely?
See, there he is in the hole in the ground.
Yeah, you're lovely, aren't you?
So this is the fundamental, the hole in the ground.
Yes. Is that another hole in the ground?
This? There are holes in the ground everywhere. There are holes in the ground everywhere.
There's another hole in the ground, look.
Yes, I guess that's true. That's right. These are holes in the ground everywhere we go. And we'll go down to the hole in the ground. You're right. Hole in the ground is absolutely fundamental.
Absolutely fundamental. You can find lots and lots of things, but you can't miss the fundamentals.
Drowning in a bathtub. Good evening, I'm Tom McNamara.
And I'm Martha Vasquez. Thank you for joining us. This is the first drowning in Tucson this year. Eyewitness News 4 reporter Sally Shamrell joins us live from outside the baby's home. Sally, sad story. Tell us what happened.
Well, Martha, the one-year-old baby was taking a bath in her home behind me when her mother says she drained the tub and then left the bathroom. Pretty soon she found her daughter being rushed to Keno Hospital. Now, I'm told that a neighbor apparently called 911, and when she noticed that the child wasn't actually breathing, a dispatcher gave CPR instructions. The neighbor performed CPR on the little girl until the fire department got there. Fire department says there was also a 2-year-old brother in the tub at the time, and the mom thought she took care of the situation before actually leaving the bathroom.
And pulled the plug of the drain, left those 2 children in the tub unattended. We're thinking she thought the drain was working. The water did not drain out. About 10 minutes later, she found the 1-year-old in the bathtub, unconscious.
Now, the baby was pronounced dead at Keno Hospital. TPD just recently left. They were investigating the scene as they would investigate all deaths. And I'm also told that detectives aren't able to interview the mom today because she was just too upset, as you can imagine, Martha.
Sally, what about the dad? Does he know what happened?
Apparently, the dad wasn't around, and police haven't been able to contact him to let him know what happened here this afternoon.
Very sad, Sally. Thank you very much.